know how much more he's going to pay. I mean, the autograph might help him. He may have somebody to show him to.
He's
But
got
also,
it's a whole store.
no, I know. Oh, I know, I understand. I just don't know how much he's going to pay because all those cars came in boxes originally. So you have a storage box that they go in. Well, once you do that, so go ahead, Rose. So that would be. I mean, if you want, I would. I mean, the good thing is you don't have to sell it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Bill's a little distracted right now, and we're going to get ready and jump into the live here in just a second.
Like all at one time.
We just wanted to get it set up, and kind of the preview of what we're going to get into today is a little bit around what a customer in the shop had asked us some questions. We started going through that list of questions, and right now we happen to be, if we own the card companies, Topps, etc., what would we do to kind of change the hobby? So I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I hope everything's going well for you guys. We've had a phenomenal week in here, and just like on my website's been great. So the card market continues to be strong. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Hey, thanks for bringing stuff in.
But again, like the main thing we'll kind of focus on is, what if we owned the card companies? What are some stuff that we would do to kind of maybe change the hobby? Some decisions we'd make if we owned them that we think might make improvements to the hobby.
Oh crap, we're live.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing here? You didn't even tell me you're live.
Yeah, and we might be upside down. I have no idea.
I'll know in a second.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it.
If we're upside down, it's fine. We've been upside down before.
Yeah.
We like it, actually. That's our thing.
You might not,
Okay.
But
So, looks like we're good.
Cool.
All right. Hey, we've got 3 people watching, which is good. Hey guys, sorry I was late, and I have no head. My hair is so bad that we have no top of my head in this video, which is good. So, what did you say to him? And
Okay, so we've been going through Dr. Rush's.
Sure. Did you want to give me updates on anything? Do we have any updates?
I mean, I was just telling them.
Okay. Right now we do have. We're fairly set on top loads. We did have a small raise of price. They are now $2.50 a pack. We do have those in stock. We have some poly sleeves. Poly sleeves, we've still been having a little bit of problem getting them in. We do have some magnets. We do have some 35 count boxes also, and we still have plenty of cardboard, right? Except we do not have 3 rows.
Yeah, we do not have 3 rows, but almost everything else.
Let me
and
see.
the one-touch resealable bags, we just got those last week.
One-touch resealable bags. Get them while you can.
Yeah.
I go through like you can't imagine. It's insane how many I go through. But for what are they, $3 a pack? For your 3 cents you pay for that poly sleeve, you can save that magnet that you paid $2 for. Let that 3-cent piece of plastic take all the abuse and still have a $2 magnet. So, anyways, okay. I'm not going to comment. So.
Yeah, so we have this list from Dr. Rush.
Let's get to this list.
Yeah, so today I thought we'd focus on his, just the way I wrote it. I think it was the order he gave it to us.
Sure.
Was if we own the companies, what are some things that we might do? What are some changes we might make that might improve the hobby, I guess, or just, reinvigorate the hobby, which I don't think the hobby needs reinvigorating.
No more reinvigorating. There's plenty of invigorating.
There's plenty, and that's what I'd started with. Like, it's been a really good week. It's been one of my best weeks this year. So I can't really explain it. I mean, but it's been good.
I personally, this is going out to that this is a lot of people in the hobby do not think this should be, but I really think that Topps needs to introduce itself back into football and basketball. Panini's doing that to baseball. They did it to Topps before, for like Topps always had their Chrome, and they still were putting out their Prism, just unlicensed. Now that Panini owns a license, Topps is like, hey, we're just gonna walk away. Topps, come back. your Topps Chrome product is every bit as good as a Prism product, and you never had so many different parallels and stuff like that. You could go without the license. The license is just some people have to have a license. I find that most of the loyalty with licenses is with baseball. A lot of people, I've never noticed that the unlicensed baseball sells well because people are buying rookies. But with everything else, I've never seen any problems with it. So I definitely would recommend you getting back into the game of football and basketball. And that's just because Panini's doing it to you on baseball, and I think it's only fair is fair. I think if there was more product out there, maybe, the prices might come down, but it would come out to where your regular collector can actually collect, not just your dealers that are having to, I had to get in a break. I can't even get in a break this month because my team was $700. That's insane. But the card companies aren't going to change it. Panini's not going to change anything. They're firing on all cylinders, literally. And that's good, but eventually people run out of money, and your people that are short-term investments that came in to double and triple their money real quick, eventually they're coming out of it. So all you're stuck with is these people that just want to collect and can't afford. Topps, please come back. Please make a product that will at least a compromise or something. That's my personal opinion. Anyways,
I would say I kind of like the idea. One of the things that I would do if I owned one of the companies, Topps, Panini, whatever, one of the major companies, is I would do some retail exclusives like they do. I would do more hobby exclusives and make it, I guess, a good thing, or make the shops a focal point again, because we've talked about it before. It's not that I love the entrepreneurial spirit and I love that people just break and stuff, but the ease of access into that market, not at this point. I understand it would take you a little bit to get into that, and I've actually had failed attempts into that area and not done very well, but it just doesn't interest me as much as somebody who, just quite frankly, your phone in your basement, you have less skin in the game than somebody that has a brick and mortar shop that's trying to make a living doing this. So I think that the companies need to do more hobby only products and stuff, and support the shops with a decent amount allocation wise.
For sure.
Also, I like the idea of retail only products too, and then maybe, I know this is gonna sound like a terrible idea for those of us who went through the mass production and the devaluing of cards before, but I think a little mass production would be a good thing. Pick a few brands like regular Topps, regular Donruss football, and mass produce those coming into 2021, 2022, and get cards back in the hands of the kids, because the kids are the future generations. And the kid is not Gary Vee, and the kid is not some investment guy trying to grade a card and see what it's going to be worth and make double his money in 6 months. The kid just wants a cardboard picture of his favorite player.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think some mass production, and I know a lot of you are thinking, well, they are mass produced, it's just this market's crazy. It's still, they have to outdo the demand. The supply has to outdo the demand to get cards on the shelves at Walmart just sitting there for the kid to get.
And then right now, hey, we'll get off the top of the thing to say Vince said hi, Bart said hi, and Gene said hi. Hey, thanks guys, thanks for joining us. I think that there has to be some balance somewhere in the hobby. Unfortunately, it's with Walmart putting out, Walmart doesn't really care about the collector. They just want to get the product out, sell it, they make the money and all that. All right, now, they should take time to do a limit for people, so the first person gets there, clears the shelf, and then nobody else can get any. I find that very unfair. Just because just because now this is going to sound, a lot of you guys might hold this against me, but just because on a Thursday morning you have nothing in your set schedule, you can get there at 8 o'clock in the morning and sit there till 2 o'clock till they put the stuff out. That does not mean you're a dealer. That means that you lucked into something, or you are, you know, that is not a business model. I'm not saying that you won't make money. You can make money temporarily, but on the longer term, that is not a business model.
Yeah.
Eventually, the product, either you won't be there at the right time, it won't come out, or there'll be 20 people there waiting for it, and you only get 2 blasters.
Do you want your
blah blah blah? And you know, and that it's, you know, if you're in a business, be in a business. It's not a I don't know. It's that, and that's a lot of people I know do that. Sit there at Walmart, and they do okay by, you know, but it's just not a business model.
No, it's not. And, you know, one of the main guys that, you know, we're forced to buy retail and just to have affordable products. And one of the main guys that supplies me cares nothing about cards. He doesn't even know anything about cards.
Oh yeah.
He just literally
he asks
calls
us
me.
What's in it.
Yeah, well, he'll just call me and be like, "Is this worth me picking up?" And I'll be like, "No, you're only gonna make about $10," or "Yes, you're gonna make 25," or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just makes a decision based on that. He actually chases like Hot Wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
He does not care at all.
I mean, people get in it and they're like, the bad thing is everybody got very, very lucky that Prism and Mosaic took off, so they were buying a blaster for $20 and selling it for $60 to $80. You know, that's not going to happen again. I do not see the NFL or the NBA class that's this year is not going to push that product that good. You know, but, and we've seen that in draft so far. Draft literally it did go up a little bit, but not enough for you to sit there and make 3 times your money. So if you're okay buying it for $20 and selling for $30, I got no problem with that. But when you're sitting there buying it for $20 and asking a king's ransom at $100 a box, I just do not have time for that. So, anyways, that's why we would kind of change the industry. We would definitely try to. There's got to be a way to get cards to kids, because if there's no kids, there's no more collectors. You know, eventually, you know, in 30 years, there's not a person buying cards. You know, all these big cards that we got, all these Giannis rookies, all these Kobe rookies and all that, they're going to be locked up in collections of people that are now in their 30s and 40s. They're going to be 70 years old. There's not anybody to sell them to.
And I know, like, the set builders, those guys are usually in their 60s and 70s
Oh, sure.
now, late 50s, 60s, and 70s.
You
So
know.
I know they're kind of going out of the hobby, but this current condition is literally forcing them out, too.
Oh, yeah.
They can't afford to buy a box of cards to collect a handful of
if you're still collecting, if you're still putting together 50s and 60s and 70s sets, you know how much it costs. You know, you already know what it is. Now, to buy a Johnny Bench rookie card, low grade, for $100, that's not even a drop in the bucket compared to a Zion Prism. That's only a third of the price. You know, it's like, wait a second. Johnny Bench is one of the best catchers ever. Zion is going to be a good player, but he is not the next coming of.
Yeah, I was watching Zion actually a couple days ago.
No, you wasn't.
I was. And it actually reminded me.
Were you confused what they were doing with the
Yeah,
ball?
with the ball, yeah. And it actually reminded me, like, if you're a Reds fan, you'll definitely remember that. Like, Sean Casey running down the first base line. It just looked all discombobulated. Like, I wasn't sure he was going to make it from one end to the other.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to see that as, like, the next LeBron, the next Jordan. You know.
I'm nobody to say that anybody's fat,
No,
but Zion just is in proportion for playing the NBA, because he just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lanking down the field or the court or whatever. Zion, if you hear this, don't be mad at me. I'm a fat guy too. I don't even run down the court. I always play defense. I was a good defensive guy. I never even made it past half court. So, anyways, that's what we would do. We have some customers in here today, which is amazing, because normally we just have 1 or 2. So, anyways, that's what we would do with if we were to own cards. I mean, do you want me to move on to the next question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. we're at. Okay, next question we had. First off, explain the line. First off, the line explanation. Okay. Okay, let me ask Rob what I think this means, and I'll.
Thank God we don't have to look.
Thanks for coming in, Adam.
Well, you know, I mean, we got so much.
Talk to you later, man. What is that next question? What's that?
Okay.
Is that the first off the line?
Yeah, the first off the line, Dr. Rush
Okay.
had basically didn't really understand what that was, and then kind of questioned my ability to get it.
Okay.
So
For any of you guys that aren't currently buying directly from the companies, they do offer a product called First Off the Line of most products. It's released the Monday before the product comes out, most of the time, or like a couple days before the product comes out. It will be like a short printing of the whole set. It's the regular set. They just have different short prints and all that. But you're literally buying them just from the company. Like the company literally will send them to you. Sometimes that's a decent price. Sometimes I've seen them do Dutch auctions where, you know, I can't remember what product it was, but they start them out $2,000 a box. And somebody told me, they're like, oh, they get down to 1,000, I'm buying. They got down to $1,052 and they were gone. Sold 400 boxes or cases or whatever it was, you know. So first off the line is something you actually purchase from the company.
direct, yes.
Direct. Hobby shops do not have an option to buy that unless they want to get in line, just like the consumer.
And then
we do not do that.
There's a concern with bots and stuff,
Yes.
like automated. Some people are ending up with 17 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. If you can get 17 of National Treasures, buy them.
Yeah.
But if you can't, no big deal. Thomas Ever joined us, and Dave Sarver. Hey, Dave Sarver.
Hey, Thomas.
Okay. We're just finishing up this list of questions that we were a viewer gave us. So, all right, let's go with the next question.
Okay. So I was just going to finish that one. So it's direct. I'm not allocated any of those, and I would have no better chance of getting them than you.
Yeah.
Is it better investment to invest if you're going to get an auto card? Is it going to be better to be on a card, on a ball, or an 8x10 for an investment purpose?
Okay. Okay. Okay, for investing on ball, for investing in autographs. Okay. First off, I would probably, okay, it really depends on the customer. For me, as a dealer, if I like the way it looks on a football, you know, I like I got an Urban Meyer or a signed autograph football. I really like the way it looks. It's a white ball and all that. Now, if you have him sign in black ink on a regular pigskin ball, it's not going to look as nice. So, really, presentation means total 100%. You know, that's why we go through thousands of dollars in plastics a year just to get rid of the plastic that is damaged, because you know, it's like if it's not going to help the card sell, then you don't need it. It's literally a throwaway. Magnets, I got a whole box of magnets that I literally just throw out. I can't use them because they're all scuffed up. That's why you buy one-touch team bags. I wasn't trying to do a sales thing, but buy these. Save your $2 that you pay for freaking magnets. Just can't. I feel so bad when somebody comes in with 10 of those and they're all scratched up, and I'm like, for 3 cents a piece, 30 cents, you could have saved all these. If you're going to sell them to me, at least I can reuse them. Anyways, okay, the autograph that I would say would be more preferred would be, for me, on card, because I can, and it also depends on certification. If it's a legit certification company, you got JSA, you got PSA, Beckett also does authentication. It also depends on what somebody wants. I don't recommend big, huge pictures. Like I have a Pete Rose autograph picture here that's 3 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah.
Very few people have that room in their house. So to sell it, I have to have something that someone can afford. Someone can afford at once, and it's going to put on their shelf. 8x10s are fine, especially for Hall of Famers, stuff like that. But I wouldn't recommend I wouldn't recommend, but now I have like a really nice Mickey Mantle ball. But I don't like multi-sign balls either. I really want one guy because that's the guy you want on it. So I would say your best bet is to have. It's really up to your own decision. You know what you like. I personally like the card. I don't really like sticker autographs, but if that's the only choice you have, that's the choice you have. So.
Yeah, so definitely when we're talking about ball, on a ball, on an 8x10, on a card, the best card is going to be one authorized by a major company pulled from a pack.
Yeah.
So, instead of you just going to a flea market and saying this guy said I got it in person, the better version is going to be one you can look up in a packet.
Sure.
And
I could go to. At one point I had over 1,000 autographs that were from the Blue Jacket teams, like all these players. Where there was a guy in the hobby. His name was Ed Mendelson something. Everybody called him Bruce. That was his middle name. Couldn't find out. He literally hounded every sports thing you could ever imagine. Super nice guy. He passed away last year. He literally had, I'm not even joking. He probably had 50 to 100,000 autographs on card where he went and met the players. I probably have 30 Archie Griffin autographs on card where he met him and he's like, hey, can you sign this? But he was very persistent about it. That's what he liked to do. That was his passion. So, I don't question authenticity of it. I know he had it signed in person. So, but yeah, I think it depends on the person and what you really like. Like probably one of my favorite autographs I have is an 8x10. It's certified. It's not even an actual sports player. It's Evel Knievel. It's a picture. It's a drawn picture of him and it is signed and it's PSA DNA'd. It's one of my favorite pictures. I gave $20 for it. I paid more than that to get it certified. I just love the picture, and it came from a guy who was a really good friend of mine that supported our shop for years, back when we were basically making $20 at a flea market. So I'm glad that he sold it to me, and I'm glad we. So
speaking of that, do you remember when we'd go and do the local flea market and think we did great because we did $200 for 2 days?
I try not to remember those days because those days there was times back when we was in high school because Rob was younger than me and Rob was an early entrepreneur. I probably mentioned this before, but Rob Rob wanted to be Dave Sarver when he was younger. And Dave, if you're still here, we're still big fans of you. You
him and Doug
Sims. There was a
who's
guy
still
named,
a successful entrepreneur.
Oh no, he is, but he's moved on to
other things,
collectible card games, comic books, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Herb Yortzel. We learned a ton from you guys. We learned how to deal and how not to deal, and but then that's how we did it. We learned from the best that we seen, so you pick up a trick here and there. So back then we would set up and the table would be $19. It was like $15 plus $4 for a table to rent their table.
Beaten up table.
The tables were horrible.
Yeah.
We have two of them in the shop. We literally have two, and they sway. They had the wood. They had wood on either side, but still the middle had it looked like a camel almost, but it's all right. But we'd go in there and we're like, man, I made $30. Sometimes I remind Rob of this all the time, and he always remembers. But me and him, probably 25 years ago, probably 25 years ago.
Wasn't quite. It's probably 20.
20 years ago, went all the way to Caesars Creek to do a outdoor flea market. We got there early in the morning. He had Beanie Babies. That was his big thing at the time, and I had sports cards. We sat there till about 11 o'clock. We literally had no sales. Nobody stopped. It was just a bad day. So we looked at each other. They came around at like 11 o'clock. Was like, hey, we're here for your rent. We're like, can you come back around? They're like, oh, sure. So we at that point realized we need to quickly get out of there. Well, on the way back, literally, I had enough on my credit card that I could, I was able to get us both a hot dog and a half a tank of gas to get home. So that was a time that's completely different now. Now I can actually get a hot dog for me, 2 hot dogs for me and 1 for Rob, and I can actually afford a whole tank of gas.
Yeah.
So things are much better than then. So but that's where we came from. You know, we've been entrepreneurs in sports cards and Beanie Babies for years. So, anyways, hey, my wife just joined. Hey, honey. Let me see. We had some questions. Okay,
Sure.
Dave West. What do you want for the Pete Rose picture? Photo. I honestly don't know. I'm kind of sentimental to it because it's something that I actually got. I went to the Playball Inc. show and actually seen him the night before, got a selfie with him, and then he signed it the next day. I did pay $50 for the autograph, but it completed it for me. So it more likely at some point it will go in my house, but it's kind of on the shelf just because I think it's cool. I like to show it off. When we first started our shop, we didn't have a lot of cool stuff to look at. I mean, we had interesting stuff, but not really cool stuff. And it's something that I think I've told somebody $300 on it. There's only 700 of them. It's a Andy Warhol print. I mean, would I sell it for $300? I probably would, but I think I'd regret it later. So, but thank you for the offer. Okay, Josh Halstead, a friend of mine. Hey. Hey, make sure you look through his needs for more money. Well, I paid you already, which is good. I bought some cards off him. They were literally in a clothes basket thrown in where his uncle would buy packs and work on sets back in the 2011, 2015. So a lot of them cards got trashed because they're literally thrown into a clothes basket, but I was able to find a Trout rookie that's not in great shape, and I did pay him pretty fair on the product. So, we did. I appreciate the deal. There isn't any more to go through. I've already went through all of them. So. Let's see. Vince asked, anybody else notice people asking Target and Walmart employees about cards every time they go through the store now? Yes, for sure. There are. I think that everybody goes into Walmart and they're like, the shelves are empty. They think that every sales clerk knows exactly. Oh well, is Tina putting them out? You know, did you put those out? I can tell you from watching Walmart, and from people, everybody's told me, regular people at Walmart do not stock the shelves. MJ Holdings sends them the product to the store, and then they have an employee come and load the shelf. So please don't make the people at Walmart mad. They don't know when the cards are coming out. If you want to talk to management, they can tell you, hey, we normally restock on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday. But your regular shelf people, like your person working the counter, they have no idea. So just word for thought. Let's be nice during the end of the holidays and stuff like that. Let's be nice to these people. Let's respect them. You know, there's people that do that job that have done that job for 10 years and hate their job because of people hounding them. You know, nobody deserves to be hounded at their job just because you're trying to make a quick buck. That's uncool. And
I sympathize with the people that aren't trying to make a quick buck. They're just trying to get their kid a box of Prism.
Oh, for sure.
For $20 instead of $90.
Yeah, no,
I totally understand.
I agree. I agree for that person that comes in at 8 o'clock at night. It's like, man, I was hoping to get a box. Well, yeah, they can't hold you a box of everything, but Walmart, Target, Myers could do a better job at distributing it and letting people only get a box of this or 2 boxes or something like that. There's no reason for Timmy, I just use the word Timmy, who wants to collect cards to not be able to collect cards because somebody that has no life set at Walmart in the morning to pick up their to buy the whole shelf out.
Yeah.
I can't say I have done that before. I did it once. I felt horrible about it. I won't do it again. I don't need to. That's just business, you know. That's just the way we are. So, all right.
Yeah, we can answer some questions, but we'll stop going through his list and kind of start to wrap it up. I was going to mention I did just get Topps Heritage High Series in stock.
Oh,
and so that's available. Just got in a few of those, so that's this week's release.
Yeah. Tim said he'd be a buyer on the Pete Rose. I would consider it. I still would consider it. I know you looked at it for years. I know you are the biggest Pete Rose fan. I know. So you never know. I'm sure you'll be in the shop. We can talk, but I really shouldn't be here in the shop. But it happens. Yep. Anything else, or you wanna?
I think we're good to kind of wrap it up.
Has anybody heard anything about the Franklin County show yet?
It's a go as far as they know. They just emailed last night or the night before to ask us to confirm tables. So it should be a go, and then my show should be a go the week after that. So you're looking at like 16th, 17th, and then like the 20th.
Like the Go-Go's? You mean like Vacation? Like from the 80s?
Yeah, it could. But, yeah, so that's the next show's really close. Now, the one that replaced Nutter.
The one that replaced Nutter is actually on the 9th. It is in Xenia. It's at the Greene County Fairground. Greene County Fairgrounds, I believe.
Yes.
But that show is on the 9th. So there was a show on the 2nd, but I think it's Hartsville or something like that, which is a tad bit of a drive for us.
If you're in Central Ohio.
It's Central Ohio.
If you're in Northern Ohio.
If you're in Northern Ohio, that's not a big drive. But for us in Central Ohio, I mean, it's like a 3-hour drive to Hartsville. I'm not going up the... Yep, Bart said Hartsville's this weekend. I would love to go up there. I just don't have the time. It'd be nice to get away to see some different. I know Justin in Wheelersburg is supposed to be having another show sometime, but I do not know when.
Yeah, I don't know when.
Justin, if you ever pop on here or happen to see this, if you want to give us a date, we definitely will help. You know, we definitely, if you have shows or like there was one in Logan 2 weeks ago or something.
Nobody really knew about
it. Yeah. Please let us know, or we don't mind sharing to the community. We all like card shows. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, I like to go in and spend money before Bart gets there. Okay, not really. But I like to get there and try to purchase some stuff. We all do. Rob likes to go in and try buy wax if he can, if he needs to resupply on stuff, and it's easier to dealer to dealer than dealer to customer. So, all right. All right. Tell me this. This will be our last show ever.
Yeah.
In 2020.
Yes.
Now, you want to start a new one next year? Should we do one next year?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. This will be our last one for 2020.
Yeah.
But we will resume in 2021
next Wednesday.
if God allows us. I'll be honest with you. You never know. Do you want to give any final thoughts on 2020?
Well, okay. Everybody said 2020 was messed up, and I agree that it was, and there was a lot of issues, and I'm not belittling anybody's struggles with COVID, any situations that led to sickness or even death, God forbid, from COVID. But we are going to look back at this as the craziest year for sports cards ever. 2021 is not going to match it, in my personal opinion. And 2020 was very good to us that did cards financially. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly.
For sure.
So I'm thankful. I'm thankful as I look back throughout the year. On a personal note, I'm obviously thankful, to have a fiance and things be going.
Why don't you marry her sometime this year?
Yeah, I mean, I am. In 2021, I'm going to.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I think it's been a good year for cards. It's, but there's been people that it hasn't been a great year for.
Sure.
That have lost people close to them.
Yeah.
I'd say a friend of the shop.
He just joined one.
Did really?
Chris Etling.
Okay. But yeah, like.
We really, he's been to our traders night several times.
Mandy has made us cookies.
Mandy made us cookies for our first
maybe
one.
a couple times.
Maybe a couple times even.
Yeah.
He told he had posted the other day that she had passed away.
Yeah.
We both were just shocked. I know you kind of mentioned that she had been sick.
Yeah.
We're sorry for your loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And
yeah.
I messaged him personally because I heard him say, she wasn't well, and I just never asked.
Yeah.
In the busyness of our lives
Yeah.
and running, I tried to do a couple businesses and stuff. I just, never asked how she was doing until I saw that picture a few days ago.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't really, but definitely praying for him.
Yeah.
And, definitely sorry for your loss.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, yeah, I would say 2020 was a weird year. I didn't think it was going to be a weird year.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the industry was hot, was on fire coming into 2020. Basketball with, the Jordan series and Zion coming out. Everybody talk about the next coming.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kobe passed away out of the sky.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it was going to happen. And then LeBron James kept his dominance as being one, if not the top. He did not get the MVP, but he definitely. I think MVP should go to teams that win, and if you can win the season, I think you should deserve MVP, because there's no reason to be an MVP on a team that doesn't win the championship. Personal opinion, always. But yeah, and then we just want to say thank you for you guys for sticking with us through. I took a vacation. I came back. The world was broken. We didn't even know if we was going to be able to get off the ship in Fort Lauderdale. They literally were like, "Hey, we think there's a case of COVID on the ship." We got off there, drove back, and then all of a sudden the shutdown. We were closed for 6 weeks, 2 months, almost 2 months. You guys still contacted us. You still were looking for cards. You still were interested in us or checked to see how we were doing. And some of you even offered to let us borrow money during the year to make it through. Fortunately, we didn't need it, but it's always nice to know that there are caring people out there that will lend a hand when they can. So, but we're here for you guys. We'll be here for 2021. Hopefully, I will get smarter and more up to date on modern cards for you guys, so I can try to answer more questions. And hopefully, Rob will get more wax in, or maybe maybe you just. I think going back to the companies, I still think that it's. Panini only, the only way you can buy it is through wholesalers. I still think you should be able to go back to like Topps used to, like you order directly from Topps.
Yeah.
I think that was a much better system. People could order it and they could just get it, but I don't ever see that happening. But and then the wholesalers are able to. The wholesalers, people that really control the market. Who gets the product and all that. So, anyways. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for keeping with us, supporting us through the year. And we will be here for the next year. We will try to keep the same hours. We won't have any adjustment to hours. We will be, tomorrow I should be here from noon to 3. The whole building closes at 3 o'clock. New Year's Day, I'm going to be watching football. And so I'm not going to be here. I don't think anybody's going to be here. But we will reopen on the 12 o'clock on Saturday, 12 to 6. And then we will go back to our regular schedule, Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6, Saturday, 12 to 6 after that. So I don't see any closings or anything coming up. We've made it through the holidays, and we are ready to celebrate a new year. So, all right, well, hey, from us to you guys, we wish you have a happy new year, and we hope your guys' lives are blessed as much as ours. So, from Bill, from Rob, from Bobby, who has collected for 60 years, he's still 54. Anyways, happy new year.
Happy new year.
See you next year.